everyone. My name is Christiana, and today I'm here with Mona, and we're going to be talking all about her life, her journey, and mental health. And I'm so happy to have her here today. I really wanted to say firstly that I started this because I realized how mental health is affecting so many people, but not many people are talking about it. Some people are, but not everyone. And I'm just so happy to be here to speak with Mona today. And I really hope you guys enjoy this interview. And I will link all of her social media down below, from her TikTok and her Instagram and her YouTube channel. And I really hope you guys enjoy this and have a great day. Yeah, so we can jump right in. And I firstly wanted to ask you, how are you doing mentally right now at this time?
Oh, I feel like this is definitely the most stressed that I've been in a very, very long time. Outside of TikTok, I work day jobs. I'm just a regular person. I have a part-time job at a sporting store. I tutor. I teach. I'm outside of just TikTok, and I mentioned with TikTok, TikTok only shows such a small portion of my life, but I'm doing so much outside of it, and so it's been a lot of time management that I've really had to learn how to get used to, because it is stressful to be doing so much, and because I'm the kind of person that's I can't really focus on my right now self unless I feel like my future self is going to be okay.
Wow.
And that's pretty much.
Yes, I completely understand, of course, and that's so interesting for me to hear, because that's really true with so many people. We're always focusing on our future, and we're never really, almost like we're not living in the present. But of course, it's a good thing, and it can also be hard sometimes. So I completely understand. And I wanted to also say, growing up, has mental health ever affected you growing up, or was there ever a certain period of time where you realized that mental health was really important to you?
My middle school years, I was bullied really badly in middle school, and I was really in a dark place at such a young age. And it was pretty much a feeling that I really didn't understand. It was mental illness and stuff like that wasn't really something that was normalized in my household or normalized in my family and stuff like that. You're not depressed. You're just sad. You don't have anxiety. You're just on edge right now and stuff like that. But I felt like I was really going through something that was much deeper than these surface level emotions,
Of course.
And that I started to realize, hey, maybe this is something deeper than just being sad. I need to start taking care of myself and putting myself first, so that, because it's one thing to just be sad for a day, but I was sad all the time. So I was like, this isn't normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's when I started to realize that that is very important
at
the end of the day, because you can't function. Mind isn't where it's supposed to be.
Of course, no, of course, I completely understand, and that's, it's wild to think that that's such a young age, and it won't, it's crazy how it's not stopping. Now it's gone from just bullying at school to now cyberbullying, and it's crazy that, it's so, maybe not even normalized, but it's almost to the point where it's being normalized, and no one really notices it, and I'm so sorry that you had to, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, but I also wanted to say, did you ever have a support system growing up, or a special friend or family that was always there for you?
My sister.
Oh, yeah.
My sister is my best friend.
Yes.
And she was wise beyond her years, even when I was in school and she was in 5th grade or just starting middle school.
Of course.
Someone who's always been very getting pretty much.
Of course.
And someone I always talk to.
Yes, that's amazing. I love that. And I wanted to say, growing up, was there ever a time where you just called on her when you needed her, or you just sat down and had a talk together and just opened up?
Yeah, I remember one time. Can't remember exactly. But I was unconsolable. I don't know what happened, but I do remember. Yeah. Okay. And then, that's back when me, my brother, and my sister, we all shared a room. So I'm in my bunk bed, on the top bunk, and I'm crying. My sister, who literally just in 5th grade at the time, I don't know why you're so sad, so pretty, and you're so amazing. And she was just you don't understand, these girls are just so mean to me at school. It's literally the worst thing ever. And she would just she just pretty much held me while I cried as like a 12-year-old, you know. She was like 11 or 12 or 10 even.
Yes.
Just, I will always remember that moment.
Yes, of course, and that's amazing. Oh, I keep saying it, but that is absolutely wonderful, and I love a family support system. That's probably one of the best support system that you can ever have. And when it comes to having a platform, I know that can affect a lot of people mentally. And I wanted to say, I love your page so much, your TikTok, your Instagram, everything. I love your POVs, the videos that you make. They're so wonderful, and I love your platform. But I wanted to tie that into mental health. I know that social media can be a toxic place. It can also be very good and very nice and a place to learn, but I know it can be really toxic. And how do you, like push through comments or hate comments or cruel people? How do you like ignore that or fight back, if that makes sense?
I'm going to be honest. I'm so grateful to say that negative comments affect me 0%. And this is why.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I dealt with the meanest type of people in my real life.
Yes.
That people who are just trying to bully me through a screen, literally that means nothing. Because because there were people who knew me personally and knew me in real life who were just as mean and all that kind of stuff. But like people who don't know me just through a screen, it doesn't faze me at all. Yes. It really doesn't. And like genuinely, like I know that sounds like, oh, it goes against me, but like it legitimately doesn't, because I've been through worse.
Yes, of course.
I just brushed it off. I just blocked them and keep them moving.
Wow, that's amazing. I really do love that. And that's you're someone with strong, thick skin, and I love that. And I know it can like really affect a lot of people, which is totally fine, of course, but like that is amazing that you have that mentality. And when it comes to social media, also, like ignoring the hate comments is wonderful, because I wanted to say, is that kind of like an escape for you, a way where you can express yourself or like escape from everyday life?
Oh, 100%. I started TikTok because I hated my school so much. I started TikTok, I would say August or September of 2019.
Yes.
Hated my college. Didn't want to be there. I hated everyone around me. I was frustrated as I could be. I'm not gonna say I hated everyone around me, but I was just surrounded by people who were bringing me down. I'm very upset. And so I started making TikToks, and I was able to like disconnect myself from my situation and just put my art out there, and that really made me feel good.
Oh, yes, that's wonderful. And speaking of escapes and doing something like that makes you feel good, does theater and doing music and singing and all of those things that combine into doing theater, does that ever feel like an escape for you and also make you happy, like a platform to express yourself?
Yes, I feel like theater is like one of the only things that I do that doesn't make me feel bad about myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always doing something that's like, I'm not doing this right, I'm not doing this right. But when I'm doing theater, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is the best thing that I can be doing. So it's nothing but a positive outlet for me.
Wow.
Because this is where I'm supposed to be, rather than this thing that I have.
Of course. And I also, when it comes to theater, I know you do singing, which is amazing. And I watched one of your YouTube videos, and you said that you first started singing since you were like really little, of course, like since you were just born. And I wanted to say, do you remember like the first time you sang and you felt like, wow, this is something that I want to do for a long, long time and forever?
Yes. I was in second grade, and then my school was putting on a talent show, and I was like, oh, like I really want to do the talent show or something like that. And then me and my friends, we all got together, we wrote a song, we acted it, and worked it.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, this is right. Yeah. This is and that's when since then on, I've been singing and dancing and acting pretty much.
Wow. That is amazing. I love that. I love that so much. And also, when it comes to singing and acting and such, do you remember when you first went into theater? Because I know you said singing, from the talent show. But also, do you remember the first time you started doing theater and fell in love with it?
Yes. Well, I feel like the moment I fell in love with theater, the moment I started doing theater, two totally different occasions. Yeah. I feel like when I first started theater, I was in a children's choir, and at the end of the year, this is my 5th grade year, we used to go to Six Flags. That used to be our thing. But instead of going to Six Flags this one year, we decided to put on a musical. And it was Aladdin Jr. And I got cast as the genie. And I was like, thought I liked singing. Yes. But I liked this even more.
Of course.
And so that's what we're doing. When I didn't start falling in love with theater until I figured out that it was something that I could realistically do. And I feel like that falling in love for it didn't happen until kind of recently, if I'm going to be completely honest. Pretty much over like the last year or two. Yeah. Was when I fell in love with theaters, when people started to stop treating me as like, as you know, like in theater, there's a lot of stereotypes going around. You know, if you look a certain way, you get cast a certain way. If you talk a certain way, you get cast a certain way. Yeah. And I hated that I was being put in that box for such a long time. And so I've always loved doing theater, you know what I mean? But when when people stopped viewing me on that surface level and started like actually judging me and like off my talent and the things that I can do, and I started actually playing roles that I actually felt like I connected more with, that's when I really fall in love with theater and like really feel like I could flourish in it pretty much. It shifted from a hobby to a passion.
Yeah. Of course. Oh, that's amazing. I love that too. And also, theater is so wonderful. It's so wonderful that you feel that way about it. And in addition to it being, so beneficial, are there ever times where you feel overwhelmed or like it's too much or it's stressful for you, especially with the stereotypes?
Oh, for sure. I remember stressful. I mean, I feel like I'm always surrounded by people who are a little further ahead in their training than me. So that's sometimes kind of stressful. If I so myself, sometimes I feel like I don't fit in a certain show, and and that kind of throws off my game even before I even get cast in the show, pretty much. That stresses me out. But other than that, like, it's kind of just smooth sailing. I kind of just go with the flow with it.
Of course.
I'm going to end up doing the show regardless. So it was
Of course. I love that attitude too. That's amazing. And that looking at everything like that. I love how you're so positive about everything. And I wanted to say, when doing theater, singing, everything, that's so wonderful. And do you have any other outlets or hobbies, especially when you're going through a stressful day? Anything else that you do, to clear your head or your mind?
That would either be playing piano. Played piano very well. Playing piano for about 10 years. So that's really just like, sometimes I'm just stressed. I could just kind of play it out. And then I'll just go to sleep. That's that's in the hour.
Yes.
By the time I wake up.
Of course. And also, I know some people like to do mental health days, and sleeping is wonderful. And they love to take, hot showers or light a candle or watch a movie and then fall asleep. And that's wonderful. And I feel like a lot of people need those days. And during this time, I know it's hard for a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of people recognize that they kind of need that time and they can't keep pushing themselves constantly and having no break. And I wanted to ask, did this time really affect you, or did it? Yes. Yeah.
I don't have time to do that. I am a workaholic. That's what I do. I work constantly. I don't have time. Yeah. That is my biggest thing with myself right now. Like I said, this is like the most stressful time in my life. I am never not doing something. Yes. Ever.
Yeah.
Always. I don't have time. I work 7 days a week. Wow. If it's not one thing, I do personally would like to start scheduling a little bit more me time, but because I feel like I'm dealing with so much in my life right now, and I feel like I'm just going through a lot, that sometimes if I'm just sitting around doing nothing, it makes me more stressed than if I was doing something. And so ideally I want to get in a place where I can, if I'm by myself and just chilling, I can just chill, but I'm not even mentally in a place to do that right now.
I completely
understand. Like, oh, wait, I have to do this. I'm just sitting around here doing nothing. I have to do this, da-da-da-da.
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot, yeah.
No, I completely understand. I really do. And that's actually so different from a lot of people, because I know, some of them, they don't stop moving or they don't stop, doing something. And that's, really shocking for me to hear. But I completely understand what you mean. And I wanted to just say, like, do you have any advice for someone who's going through a hard time or wants to go into singing, acting, theater, but they're feeling like they're going to be judged or not as good? And do you have any advice for them to stay strong?
I have a very tough love mindset when it comes to people in theater. As much as it's such a fun outlet and stuff like that, I feel like sometimes it's not for everyone. Even though people may love it, people may think it's their thing. I don't feel like it's something for everyone because outside of just the glitz and glam, there's so much hard work that goes into. There's so much like mental there's so much mentally that you kind of have to wrap your mind around when you're going into this field. Every show puts me, I'm in a different mental place. I feel like the show just puts me in a different mental place depending on the show. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to casting, you have to be okay with not getting I would not even been cast in maybe, that's a lot. I've probably been cast in half the shows that I've auditioned for, maybe a little over half. You have to be okay with that rejection. You have to be okay with not being the best person in the room. You have to be okay with, never probably being where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because you might never be where you ideally want to be. I've never been where I want to be when it comes to my craft. Never been a good enough singer. Never been a good enough actress, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But I'm here.
Yeah, of course.
And I that and keep it moving.
Yes.
And some people are just don't get okay with that stuff.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, and sorry, and I was gonna say that that's really needed for getting further in life or accomplishing something in life, and having that mentality that you're going to fail, but you must always get back up. And I lastly wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on social media and how this environment that it creates and how it can be toxic?
It does get better. Believe it or not, it does get better. People feel like it's so hard. That's one of the things I've started saying is nothing is more powerful than the moment. It's so hard to focus on other things when there's so much happening right in front of your eyes and at that second. That's why I've kind of shifted my focus into not focusing on the now, but focusing on the future. And that concept doesn't work for everyone, but that works for me. Because I don't want to get so overwhelmed with all the trials and tribulations that I'm going through right now that I'm blinded by where I know I'm going to end up.
Of course.
Yes, because it does get better. I've been through rough patches before, and it has gotten better. I'm going through another rough patch again. I have no doubt that it's not going to get better.
Wow, of course. Of course, and thank you so much. Your advice was wise, and everything that you said, it's really, really amazing. And I wanted to say thank you again, and if anyone is watching, I want you to truly know that, anyone who is watching, I want you to truly know that, life can get really hard sometimes, just like Mona said, but, you can push through it and you can get through it and you can put anything you put your mind to. You can do anything you put your mind through. And, I feel like right now life can be really stressful, especially during this time, especially not finding it hard to manage everything and, balance all that's going on in your life. But just know that you're not alone and that someone is always there for you. And again, thank you so much, Mona, for this wonderful opportunity. And yeah, of course. And thank you. And I really love sitting down and talking with you. Your advice was wise. Everything that you said was amazing. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I will link all of Mona's social media down below, her TikTok, her Instagram, and her YouTube channel. And again, thank you so, so much.